Hello, and thanks for tuning in to QUTV. I'm Charity Boyd.
And I'm Sarah Valkamp. Today on QUTV, the pros and cons of social media.
But first, how does the new conceal and carry law apply to college campuses? Government officials are always looking to make changes they feel reflect the needs of their residents. Over the last few months, the land of Lincoln has seen the implementation of a new concealed carry gun law. But how much do you really know about this change, and how could it affect your campus experience? For those answers, we turn to our own QUTV's Joshua Hale. Josh?
Thanks, guys. I'm standing outside Padua Hall here at QU's main campus, where anti-gun stickers like this one here are starting to pop up all over the place. Now, these stickers are legally mandated, and they're in response to Illinois' new concealed carry law. The law, which took effect July of 2013, permits a licensed individual, to carry a fully or partially concealed handgun on themselves. It also allows them to keep a loaded or unloaded weapon within their vehicle. Now, with more and more states crossing over into concealed carry laws, one question begins to emerge. Could these changes affect college campuses? Quincy University is a zone that is prohibited from concealed carry by the Illinois state statute. But even though this particular campus is not affected by concealed carry laws, that doesn't stand for all schools across the country. Idaho Governor Butch Otter recently signed legislation more than 2 weeks ago that lets permit-holding gun owners carry their weapons on public university campuses. I recently sat down with QU's Director of Safety and Security, Sam Lathrop, to discuss how such a law would affect this campus. Lathrop said that even though he doesn't think the school would ever be put in such a situation, it's always good to make sure students and faculty are ready for anything.
Because even though our environment isn't dangerous here, and it hasn't been, we don't have a history of violence, but that doesn't mean, Sandy Hook Elementary didn't have a history of violence either. So that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be prepared for, think about, plan, have policies, do training on things that will help us to be better prepared should an armed intruder with ill intent enter into our university space.
I also caught up with a few on-campus students to see what they thought of Idaho's new changes. While the opinions were somewhat mixed, most students were against concealed weapons being brought on campus. Katina Johnson, a recent transfer student, says that a change like that would cause her to question her safety.
It would make me feel terrified, honestly. I wouldn't want to attend school, probably. I would do online classes.
Now, once again, the Illinois state statute does protect institutions like QU from concealed carry gun laws, but given all the changes that have been going on in Idaho, it begins to beg the question, exactly what does the future hold? For QUTV, I'm Joshua Hale reporting in Quincy.
This week is Women's Awareness Week, and QU celebrated with several events on campus. All week, students gathered to discuss what they believe a woman's worth to be. The Women's Awareness Committee put together a retreat and several forums to help all students get involved. The week will conclude with a roundtable discussion Friday at 4 in the Hall of Fame room and a service trip to QUTV Saturday at noon.
We did this because last year was the first year of women empowerment, and actually what we were focused on was empowering women and bringing them together in unity. And I hope we hope to do that this year too.
Looking for a way to give back but finding you don't have a lot of time? Well, good news. Now you can have your steak and eat it too. Next week, there will be a fundraiser at area restaurants with portions of the profits going to benefit Shannon Peters and the Peters family. Wednesday from 4 to 8, Culver's will be donating 10% of all proceeds made during that time. Thursday from 4 to 10, the Texas Roadhouse will be hosting a takeover with tables receiving a free appetizer with a $5 donation. On Saturday, QYO will also donate 10% of their profits. Be sure to head on over to these restaurants to help support a fellow QU student.
The MSA Fashion Show was last Saturday in the main dining room. The event was hosted by the Minority Student Association. There were a handful of students ready to strut their stuff, showcasing multiple different fashions. The contestants were judged on their outfits and skill while walking down the runway. We sat down with one of the winners of the fashion show to see how it is to be a winner.
It feels pretty great. It feels pretty great to be a winner,
Last Friday, Alpha Omicron Pi held their annual Mr. GQ event. They raised more than $400 for the Juvenile Arthritis Foundation. There were 11 charming contestants, all fighting for the title, but only one could be crowned. He is hated by most men, desired by the majority of women. This gent is dressed to kill, always in the right place at the right time. He is known as society's ideal man. Your 2014 Mr. GQ is Junior Corey Smith.
That was some tough stuff out there. We had the cat daddy going on. We had guys doing mathematical problems that I never think about in my life, and it was tough. It was tough. So, but I mean, I guess I pulled it out, and I pulled it out my heart, with my heart on my sleeve, and I just did it. And I'm so excited. I'm so happy. But it was some competition. It wasn't a breeze. I'll tell you that. Those fellas did good. They did good.
Many of us have a very active social media presence online, but could that be hurting our chances at landing a job? Here's more in part 2 of our career building series.
As you all embark on your future endeavors, have you truly thought about how social media is positively or negatively affecting your communication skills? Many students don't even realize just how much of an effect social media has taken on their professional careers, specifically during the interview process. According to Pew Research, 43% of 18 to 24-year-olds say that texting is just as meaningful as an actual conversation with someone over the phone. With those statistics in mind, it's easy to see why an hour-long interview that requires think-on-your-feet verbal skills might be anxiety-producing to people who routinely interact via less verbal social media. Ray Heilman, Director of Student Teaching and Off-Campus Studies, gave his opinion on how social media affects our communication overall.
Sort of a two-edged sword. To be very truthful with you, so much of the social media is good. It creates connectives, communication among people. That's good. The other part of it is more of the downside, is that when you are away from a person with whom you are communicating, there are some issues concerning, can you articulate on a face-to-face basis? Can you read body language? Can you make your point and understand others? So I think it's a two-edged sword.
When preparing for your journey in the job market, always remember to research the company in which you're interested, practice, and conduct live mock interviews before your actual interview. Mr. Heilman also gave his opinion on how social media can be used positively in the work world without hindering communication.
I think that social media is extremely important for marketing, for getting ideas shared. There are also a lot of teleconferencing going on now with the cost of travel. It's not unusual to use technology in order to have a meeting that might be St. Louis, Chicago, Houston, San Francisco, where you have everybody at the table but not physically at the table. I think that's a very positive thing, as long as it is not the only way that you use for communication.
We leave you with this last bit of advice. When it comes to social media, if you will not say it face-to-face with a person, don't put it on the internet. For QUTV, I'm Charity Boyd.
Well, it's that time again. Sports with Andy Martinez. Andy?
Thanks, Charity. After starting the season 1-9, the QU baseball team has finally begun to hit its stride. The Hawks have won 6 of their last 7 games, including taking 3 of 4 from St. Joe's in Indiana last weekend. Wednesday, the Hawks hosted Lindenwood, where they completed a sweep, winning 5-2 and 6-5 in Game 2. In Game 1, Nolan Rapp hit a 2-run home run to help QU get the victory. Cody King pitched a complete game for QU, allowing 3 hits, no earned runs, and striking out 5. Larry Sarton hit the game-winning single in the bottom of the 11th to drive in the winning run. The QU softball team has hit a road bump early in the season. After sweeping Wisconsin Parkside and splitting with Lewis University at the Martin Hayden softball complex, the Lady Hawks have dropped 7 consecutive games. QU dropped both games Wednesday in a doubleheader against rival Truman State, dropping Game 1 9-0 and dropping the nightcap 6-3. The Lady Hawks will look to reverse their fortunes this weekend when they host doubleheaders against GOVC foes Drury and Missouri SNT on Saturday and Sunday, respectively. The QU men's volleyball team hasn't always had the easiest of schedules. Playing in the Midwestern Intercollegiate Volleyball Association Conference, or MEVA, doesn't do the Hawks any favors either. The MIVA boasts 4 teams ranked in the nation's top 15, including Loyola, who is the #1 team in the nation. However, the Hawks have been aided by some key performances. Though they had just had a 5-match winning streak snapped, the Hawks have comforted with the fact that it can help give them some needed momentum into the postseason. It's also comforting knowing that the team can rely on MIVA Defender of the Week, Jack Amache, who leads the team in service aces, total points, and is second on the team in kills and total attacks. Ryan Rogan has also proved to be key for the Hawks, leading the team with 906 assists on the year. It has given QU optimism for what is to come.
It's honestly a huge honor. I mean, they said that we haven't had one since 2010, so to be the first one since 2010 is huge. The MIVA is a huge conference with a lot of good teams, Division I teams, Ohio State, so it's a huge honor to be a part of that.
It feels good to get like some momentum going into the harder games when everything's clicking as a team. Just pretty much rolling at that point.
You know, any winning streak is huge. I mean, no matter who we're playing, I mean, everyone's a tough team. You know, MoBap, NAI team, you know, they beat us, and you know, just tells the story of anyone can beat anyone on any given night.
March Madness is heated up, and though no one will win Warren Buffett's $1 billion for perfect bracket, people are still excited about what has been going on in the NCAA tournament. I went around campus to find out how people's brackets are doing and their thoughts on the Sweet 16.
Well, originally, I was rooting for Florida and Syracuse. Syracuse got knocked out, so now I'm just rooting for Florida. And my bracket is totally messed up, started from the first week and continued to now.
Personally, I want Florida to win. I think Florida has a great chance.
Bracket is looking very bad. We're having Duke losing, North Carolina losing, Wichita State losing. I had Wichita State in my Final Four, and had Duke in the Final Four, so I was trying to hope for Wichita State to win, but that didn't happen, so I'm just watching the rest of the games now.
Well, I thought Duke was going to take it overall. Of course, they lost, I think, late last week. Then I thought North Carolina was going to be it. I'm really cheering for Florida right now because that's my last thing I thought was someone to take it. But other than that, I don't know.
Thanks, Andy. The windows to the future have become a significant part of Quincy University's campus over the past 20 years. It was dedicated to QU out of pure love and adoration by one outstanding friar. Once again, it's time to test your knowledge with Do You Know QU? Father Tom Brown was an active member of the art faculty for 40 years. He dedicated many of his works to QU, which can still be found throughout campus today. He was a main component in establishing the art department and encouraged students to become involved in fine arts. One of his most recognized pieces on the campus is the Windows to the Future sculpture. In 1994, 30 contributors helped provide the financial support needed for QU's acclaimed part of Lynn Street. By acquiring Lynn Street, QU was able to close the street and unify the campus. Father Tom Brown created Windows to the Future to symbolize the generosity of the contributors and their commitment to the future of QU. The sculpture was created in such a way that if looked at from above, it would appear to be in the shape of the Tau cross, symbolizing lifelong fidelity. A plaque placed in front of the sculpture states the walls are open to the nearest of the future, while the windows suggest the focus on the future. Father Tom Brown made an impacting influence on Quincy University with his artwork, as well as immortalized the generosity of those dedicated to the future of QU. That's all we have for this week on QUTV. Make sure you follow us on Facebook for all the latest campus news. For the entire QUTV staff, I'm Charity Boyd.
And I'm Sarah Valkamp. Until next time, Hawks, keep soaring high.